Hey everyone, it is Saturday, August 26, 2017, and it's time to go to work on music. It's been a really good day so far. I'm in a good place and excited for a productive session. It's kind of hard to believe that August has gone by so quickly. I'm definitely feeling like this year has gone a little faster than I wanted it to, as far as where I am with this current project and this current record. And that brings me to something that's really been on my mind a lot the last couple weeks, but in particular the last couple days, because I've received just an exceptionally amazing job offer from a group of people who I really like and admire, and I really want to take the job. It would support me playing music. It doesn't preclude me from reaching any of my musical goals at all, um, but it could slow me down a little bit because I'd be devoting time to that. Not a ton of time, but if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it the right way. So it's gonna be a lot of time at the beginning, and then it'll kind of ease out as I get in the groove with it. But I'm just a little worried, and I'm kind of having to do this thing in myself where I'm like, okay, what would it be like? What would it feel like to say no to that, and just be totally on my own doing music for a while? Because I've had a killer job the last few years that's really supported me doing a lot of music, and I've been very lucky to have some great guidance there and to have been successful with it enough to attract these other offers, which I'm extremely grateful for and proud of. I don't just strive for excellence in one area of my life. I strive for that in all areas, all facets of my life. Um, but I've kind of made the decision I'm going to leave my current job so that I can focus more on music, and I'm going to go full time at least for a few months, late this year, early next year, to try to knock this record out. At least the tracking, and writing, just getting it done. Ideally, some of the mixing and mastering as well, but I don't want to get too ambitious with that. And then kind of start up with these other guys around April. And it would be really great, and it would be really really great to have that support of having something definitive and something I know is going to be there when I'm ready to start working again outside the music spectrum. But at the same time, I can't deny that I am giving something up by committing to that now. And there's like a lot of fear around just doing music 100% full time with absolutely no. I'm not going to say no safety net, because I could always go back to my current job if I had to, etc. But I'm in a place where I could definitely go full time for like a pretty extended period, and that's really what I'm trying to do right now. If I'm honest with myself, I'm really trying to get myself to a place where I have the choice to sustain with music full time, like for forever or for an extended period of time, so that I can grow my musicianship full time, and really invest in that. Learn the songs that I want to be able to play, which are time intensive. Learn the techniques I want to be able to play. Build the knowledge I want to be able to write at the level I want to write at. And I really feel like right now my best shot at that is to make a killer record, put it out there, and get some money coming in from that, so that I can kind of legitimize to myself like, hey, this is a long term prospect. So if I don't take the current job offer, it'll basically just it'll put the pressure on me to be like, okay, now we got to do this, because otherwise, sometime in the future we're gonna run out of money, or we're gonna have to get another job. So that's appealing because I'd really like to be on my own and just taking that risk and going for it. But the problem now with this new job offer is the cost of doing that is not just financial, it's the cost of doing that is the money that I've saved up spending on that time, which to me is an investment. That's not really a loss. I'm investing in something that's the most valuable thing to me. Well, one of the most valuable things to me right now. But now, in addition, I'm adding the cost of not taking this other opportunity. So there's big opportunity cost all of a sudden of like, oh crap, am I really going to let this killer other thing that I really want to do that sounds really awesome? It's not that I don't want to do it and I'm just like, oh, I'll suck it up and do it. It's like, man, it would be great to have both of these things coexist. So I'm just trying to decide, am I compromising my musical goals and self, my highest goals, just for a little bit of comfort or just to protect my possible downside? And if I am doing that, I really don't know how I feel about that. I really feel like I've made so many sacrifices for this so far. I gotta just do it right. But at the same time, I don't want to shoot myself in the foot and do something I'm gonna regret later. So it's a really, really nice problem to have. It's a really nice problem to have. I've worked extremely hard to be in this situation. Let's not mince words. This is the product of definitely a lot of luck, but also like a tremendous amount of effort. And I think I just need some time to really meditate on that. So if you guys have any thoughts on that, I'm definitely curious. I feel like irrespective of other people's opinions, I really need to make my own decision about this. So um, I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about when I say that. Some decisions are like anyone could give you advice, but it almost doesn't even matter. But if you guys have thoughts to add, I'm definitely curious. So if you guys have faced a situation like this before, if you feel like you made the right decision, wrong decision, like if there's anything all of us as a community can learn from, please put it out there. So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of let that marinate for the rest of the day, next couple days, and then make a decision one way or the other, and just live with the results. What I've decided is the only thing that can hold me back musically is me. So if I take the job and I go that route, that's exciting and fun, and probably a little easier, even if it takes a little bit longer for me to reach the musical zenith I'm gunning for. Like, it does not preclude me from reaching that. If it did, I wouldn't even be considering it. But it could make that process a little bit more enjoyable, if that makes sense. Like a little bit more fun, a little more lighthearted, versus if I don't take the job, I think all of a sudden that goal becomes very serious very quickly. And I'm excited by that. I'm the type of person who gets really excited about getting serious about something, getting diligent, like saying no to other things, like focusing on it, getting hardcore about it. Um, but recently in my life, I've struck a balance between those two aspects of myself, and it's been very good. So I don't want to corrupt that too much. But anyway, I'm just going to let it marinate, and I'll make a decision soon, like I said. And thanks for bearing with me on that. So going to hit some online classes here. Going to hit a quick drum practice, keep that pretty light, and then just knock this guitar solo out. Just like probably hour and a half, 2 hours straight of just like getting it done, making it perfect, and then tracking that bad boy. So I'm really stoked. My schedule is about to change this week permanently, which I'm really happy about. I'm going to have more music time and a little more downtime on the personal front, which I think is going to enhance my recovery time and ability to go a little harder during my musical sessions, and that's going to continue all the way through to March, April of next year. So I'm very hopeful that's going to be enough time for me to knock this album out, but it's just going to take however long it's going to take to do it right, and I'm going to do it right one way or the other, no matter what it takes. So I'm doing that, and I'm stoked. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I won't kind of muse too much about this anymore, but the last thing I'll say is, part of the reason I'm sharing this is because that's really what this channel is about. This channel is just about being a musician and what it's like for me as someone who didn't pursue music school in like the most structured way of like, okay, I knew in high school I'm going to be a musician for the rest of my life, so boom, I just follow that path. This is me as someone who during college was like, uh-oh, I kind of might have made a bad career decision. Like, what do I really want? I want to go back to my musical roots, and I want to do that. So how am I going to make that work? How am I going to make it work with my goals of being independent, which is a big goal of mine, and then being a great musician, which is a big goal of mine. Like, how does that work? So this is me taking part-time jobs and making ends meet and living simply, and saving money and working hard to give other people value, not only with music but with other things, and just trying to be my best self and be an entrepreneur, and really create my own vision, irrespective of what some of the perceived or real limitations of that vision may be in other people's minds, and even in my own mind. I'm trying to break through my own barriers, my own thoughts about what's possible and not possible, and that's the community I want to create. That's what I want to share, and I'd really like to show everyone that it's possible. I mean, if I'm honest, it's definitely possible. I mean, let's be real. Anything is possible, but is it doable? Yes. Can I do it, and can I show other people how to do it? I think that's really the question that I'm trying to answer, and I had a realization earlier today as I was thinking about this, which is it's not, when you're chasing a goal, it really is not about whether you can or cannot do it. It's really just about, are you doing it or are you not doing it? Are you really sitting down and saying, what are the key steps? What are the steps I need to take? And then are you day in and day out taking those steps? It has nothing to do with whether it's realistic or possible or probable or any of that. It just doesn't. That's just an illusion. The thing that matters is, are you doing it? Are you showing up every day doing the work? It doesn't even matter how you feel about it or what you're thinking about it, guys. I mean, people will tell you that matters, and it's valuable how you're feeling and thinking about it. But as long as you're doing the work, you're going from point A to point B and you're making it happen, you're going to get results. So I'm really trying to remind myself of that and just make a decision about what I want. What do I really want? Do I want to take this job, come through for these other people, have a great time working with them? Slow the cash burn on my cash reserves during this year as I'm getting my music career off the ground? Or do I want to just jump in full force, get clarity as soon as humanly possible, as quickly as humanly possible, with no limitations? And, I'll let you guys know what I decide. So, I hope that talk was valuable. I hope it wasn't just like 11 minutes of just, you know, pain and suffering and you turned off the video. But this vlog is not, this vlog is partially for me and partially for everyone else. So I'm trying to find that balance of like, I want a medium where I can really express my thoughts and get them out of my head. And I also want that to be valuable for other people. So I'm even trying to strike that balance of the right amount of openness, if that makes sense. Yeah. Man, you get me going. It's hard to stop. Let's make some music. All right, excellent session overall. Got it on the online class front, hit some more music marketing tips, and as always, it's all coming back to um, the email list. But the main takeaway from today is the main reason you're building an email list and a Facebook following in the first place, guys, is not so you can just spam people a bunch. It's so you can actually build a relationship with the people who love your music and who are into the culture that surrounds your music. That's really the key. And sometimes it takes people a while to get to know you and feel comfortable with you before they want to give you their money or buy your record or something like that. And like, that's totally fine. It's good to respect that. Some people just want to be involved in the scene and don't necessarily want to buy, which is cool too. They're just along for the ride. So I think it's good to keep that in mind. It ties in with something I was saying a couple weeks ago about the internet being a conduit to real human beings. It's not just likes and follows and views and stuff like that and subscriber numbers. There's real people on the other side of those metrics. It's just shockingly easy to forget that in this day and age, I think. So something to think about. But that was great. Then I got a really good drum practice in. I've just been thinking, vis-a-vis what I said at the start of the video, I've just been thinking about like, okay, well, what if I were going full time? What if I was actually doing that? How would I change my approach to practicing, and what would that entail? And I realized like I haven't really been pushing myself on the drums that much. It's been sort of just sporadic kind of maintenance type practice, and I'm like, man, with 20 minutes every other day, like I could actually make pretty significant progress if I pushed myself a little bit. So I broke out the metronome, started speeding things up, had some good results with that. And I'm really excited that just this whole process of thinking through this stuff more clearly and examining it is helping me grow my process. So that was great. And then I took a short break, did some reading out of the recording sequence for the small studio book. Main takeaway for that from today, was mostly just about mixing multi-mic'd ensembles, and the main thing there is like, don't be afraid of the editing process. You don't need to use full entire takes. Um, in fact, usually you're going to get the best results from comping takes, because if people know that they're on the hook for one entire take, unless they're incredible players, they're going to be playing really safe at the end of every take because they don't want to mess up the good parts of the early ones. And I'm definitely guilty of that myself. And so something to think about if you're working with less accomplished artists or performers is just like, give them the freedom to just explore each part from an emotional and performance place, and you'll probably get a better total performance out of 3 or 4 comping together takes than you would otherwise. So I think that's really, really interesting and a really powerful idea, because if you're a purist like I have been in the past, that type of thinking can feel like a little bit like cheating or something like that. And everyone's entitled to his or her opinion on that front. And I haven't made up my mind personally, but I think it's always good to expose myself to new ideas, whether I agree with them or not. It just helps me, formulate my own point of view a little more clearly. So that was good, and then just got into working on this solo, and as I actually had suspected in the back of my mind, I had messed up the target BPM. I thought it was supposed to be faster than it actually is. So I'm just making life harder on myself than I had to, which is just ridiculous. But yeah, I actually did get it up to 68 beats per minute, which was great. It was not super clean, but it was there. And then I checked the track and realized, oh, it's actually the target BPM 64 beats per minute. So I'm just gonna go back and that's a big relief. That means I'm pretty much there, because I had it at 63, pretty rock solid. So just taking it up to 64, I just went through it a bunch of times, and it's sounding really good. I think just my fingers were getting a little rubbery toward the end of the session, just from so many reps. But yeah, I think when I'm fresh next week, it'll be great, and I'll get some good takes, and I might experiment with comping parts of the solo. I might experiment with just doing one take start to finish and just see what kind of results I get. And I have experimented with that in the past, and sometimes the comp is better, and sometimes just the start to finish thing just has a purity to it that I don't want to interrupt, and I dig that. So that's the session. I think I'm off tomorrow, and then the next step on Monday is to get a sound for the guitar solo and just start laying down tracks, and hopefully it'll only take me a couple days to get something I really am happy with. And then I'll move on to the drums, which has been a long time coming on this track, man, and then the progress is about to really kick up in pace in the last part of this year, which just cannot happen soon enough, man. It's been a knockdown, drag out affair with this record, which has been great, but I'm ready to just, I'm ready to really crank it, so I'm excited. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, as always. Hope you guys are out there grinding towards your goals, enjoying the process. That's what I'm out here doing, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for more. Well, see you on Monday. Till then.